Hi everyone, I'm Ina. I'm here to take you through a beginner's yoga class today. So just grab a mat, make some space around yourselves, make sure you take off your socks so it's not slippery, and let's get started. So we're going to start on our backs. Make your way to your back, bring the soles of the feet together, relax the head, lengthen the spine here, and allow the knees to splay outwards. Place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest, and just gently close your eyes and begin to bring your attention to your breath. Lengthening the inhale and exhale, and just matching your inhale and exhale in quality and length. Notice your breath as it travels into your lungs and into your belly, allowing the belly to inflate. And as you exhale, empty the lungs completely, soften the belly. And let's take a few more breaths here while grounding onto the mat. And maybe take this time to set up a bit of an intention for your practice today, something that you want to focus on as you working through the postures and the poses. And as you inhale, draw in a lot of softness and calmness. And as you exhale, see if you can let go of anything that doesn't serve you at all today. And softly open your eyes. Stretch the legs long, stretch the arms long. Hug the belly into the spine. And as you exhale, bring the knees to your chest. Keep your head and shoulders on the floor. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, stretch the arms and the legs long away from each other. And as you exhale, bring the knees to your chest and bring your face to your knees this time. Curl yourself up into a tiny little ball. Maybe even cup your elbows. Create a safe space for yourself here. And grab hold at the front of the knees and begin to rock and roll. Take your time here massaging the spine. Maybe take an extra rock and roll before you come up into a seated position. Ground your feet, roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the back of the spine here. And then bring your right shin up, grab hold at the back of your thigh, bring your left shin up and bring your knees and squeeze them together. You can leave the toes on the floor here for support. Otherwise, hover the shins up in the air and squeeze the knees together. Open the chest, bring it nice and close to your knees. Maybe stretch one arm forward, maybe stretch the other one forward as well. Keep holding it. On the exhale, lower down to a low boat position. As you inhale, hug the knees in. Feel free to keep the toes on the floor here and lower with the legs on the floor. So inhale, boat pose. As you exhale, low boat. Let's do it two more times. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. One more time, inhale, exhale, lengthen, and hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Hug your knees to your chest. Maybe rock side to side here. And then begin to rock and roll. And cross your legs and come up to all fours. Or just make your way to all fours, whichever way you like. Ground your hands underneath the shoulders, ground your knees underneath your hips, and spread your fingers nice and wide here. Ground through all the knuckles to protect the wrist joints. And begin to draw little circles with your shoulders over your wrists to warm up the wrists here. And change direction, small circles in the other direction. And come back to center. We're going to do a few cat and cows here. As you inhale, open the chest, look up, open your sitting bones to the back. As you exhale, press the floor away, round up through the upper spine. Inhale, open the chest, look forward. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone underneath you. Inhale, soften the belly towards the floor, look up. As you exhale, round through the upper spine. So we're lubricating between all the vertebrae here, mobilizing our spine. Follow your breath. Inhale and exhale. And come back to neutral spine. Step your right foot behind you. It might step off the mat, or if you need to shuffle forward. So press into the ball of your right foot and press your heel back to get a stretch in your right calf muscle. And then press a little bit more weight into the ball of the right foot. Hug the belly and hover the left knee off the floor for a moment. As you exhale, ground the left knee and float the right leg long. Stay for the exhale here. And as you inhale, reach the left arm forward, thumb up to the sky. As you exhale, hug elbow to knee. Inhale, re-extend opposite arm to leg long. Exhale, curve everything in. Inhale, lengthen. One last time. Exhale in. Inhale, lengthen. And then ground your left hand on the floor and take your right leg in line with your left knee here. And then gently walk yourself up. Bring your hands to your waist. Take the left arm over the head, stretch sideways. And then ground your left hand to the floor, stretch your right hand over the floor. One more time to the right side. Exhale, ground your left head down. Stretch the right arm over the head. One last time like that. And then walk the hands forward underneath the shoulders and bring your right knee underneath the right hip. Let's do the left hand side. Step your left foot behind you and press your heel back so you feel the stretch in the left calf muscle. Then press a little bit more weight into the ball of the left foot and hover the right knee off the floor. Hug the belly in here. Exhale, ground the right knee down. On the inhale, float the left leg up. Check that you can see all your toes underneath you here, facing the floor. On the next inhale, reach the right arm long. As you exhale, hug left knee to right elbow. Curve through the upper spine. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, hug everything in. Inhale, reach it long. One last time. Exhale in. Inhale, reach it long. And then ground your right hand to the floor. Take your left foot in line with your right knee. Keep the legs straight here. And then gently walk yourself up, hands to your hips. Take your right arm over the head, reach towards your left foot. As you exhale, ground the right hand down, stretch the left arm over the head. Inhale, stretch the right arm over the head, stretching the right side of our body. Exhale, stretch everything long, left heel to left fingertips are straight. One last time. And then walk the hands forward underneath the shoulders. Bring your left knee underneath the hips. Maybe wiggle your shoulders and hips, find your neutral spine, and tuck both of your toes underneath you here. Hug the belly in and hover both knees off the floor for a moment. Let's hold here for 3, 2, 1, and then raise the hips up and find our first downward dog. For the first downward dog, I want everyone to have their knees nice and bent. Maybe bending and extending the knees first, but then keep them bent and lengthen through the spine. Quick look towards your hands. Make sure the fingers are spreading nice and wide and your knuckles are grounding to the floor. Let's take 3 full breaths here. Inhale, fill up the lungs. As you exhale, soften the front of your ankles. Allow the heels to come down towards the floor a bit more. Inhale, allowing the rib cage to inflate. And as you exhale, let go of anything that isn't serving you. One more time like that. And then rise up onto your tippy toes. bend the knees, look forward, and step your right foot between the hands, your left foot between the hands, and bring your big toes together and heels slightly apart. And gently roll the spine up all the way to standing. Head and shoulders come up last. Bring the arms up above the head and lower your hands to heart center. And just softly close your eyes here for a moment. Feel your weight in your feet, grounding through the four corners of each foot. Maybe your weight is slightly back or slightly forward. You might change your weight to ground the whole foot on the floor. And softly open your eyes. Inhale, bring the arms up above the head. On the exhale, bending forward. Feel free to keep your knees bent here. As you inhale, bring your hands to your shins and come up to a halfway lift. So your chest should be opening forward and back should be flat. On the exhale, folding forward, ground the hands on the floor. Relax the crown of the head down towards the floor as well. And then ground both hands, step your right foot behind you, step your left foot behind you and find your high plank. At any point where we're in a high plank position, feel free to bring the knees down to the floor. Keep hugging the belly in and really lifting the pelvic floor up as well. Quick look towards the hands again. Sure you're still spreading your fingers nice and wide here. Spin the eye of the elbow to face in the space between your index finger and thumb. And then everyone shift your body weight forward and drop the weight down to your knees. And we're going down to the floor, hug the elbows in, reaching our chest down. Untuck your toes and bring your hands in line with the chest. On the inhale, open the chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades together and come up to a mini cobra. Exhale, lower your head down towards the floor. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, open the chest, squeeze the shoulders together, hug the elbows in, keep pressing the floor here. Exhale, lower back down. Let's do it one more time. Make sure your toes are still pressing into the floor. Inhale, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lowering down. And then press into the hands, through the knees, tuck your toes and lift your hips up. Find your downward dog again. Again, you feel free to bend and extend your knees here. Hug your thumbs towards the midline and open the spaces underneath your armpits, allowing your chest to come through towards your thighs. And then find a steady position here. So find a little bit of stillness. Soften the front of the ankles, allowing the heels to come down to the floor, and maybe begin to press your legs straight, but don't feel like you have to. On the next inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward, and step your left foot between the hands, and step your right foot between the hands. Or take as many steps as you need to make your way there. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back here, hands on shins, or if you like and the hamstrings are open, you can keep the hands on the floor. Exhale, folding forward, relax the crown of the head down towards the floor. Ground both hands to the floor, step your left foot behind you, your right foot behind you, hug the belly into the spine. Shift your body weight forward and drop the knees down to the floor. Slowly lowering all the way down to the floor, untuck your toes. Crown of the head long. Inhale, open the chest, mini cobra. Exhale, lowering down. Press through the knees, tuck your toes. Find your downward dog. One full breath here, inhale. Exhale, ground a little bit more into the floor. On the inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes. Bend the knees, look forward, and either step or maybe hop to the front of the mat. And if you need a few hops to make it your way there, that's fine too. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. On the exhale, folding forward. Press into both feet, rise up to standing. Exhale, folding straight back down. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. Ground both hands on the floor, bend the knees, step or hop back into a high plank position. Press the floor away, round up through the upper spine here. And this time, either shift your body weight forward and drop to your knees, or stay on your toes as you're lowering all the way to the floor.
Untuck your toes. Inhale. Open the chest, mini cobra. Hug the elbows in. And if you feel up for it, press yourself up into an upward dog position. So thighs off the floor here. Maybe even look up, really rounding through our lower back here. And then press back. Tuck your toes and find your downward dog position again. Take a full breath here. Exhale, empty the lungs. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. On the next inhale, right leg floats, three-legged dog. As you exhale, hug your right knee to your chest and step it between your hands. Make space for your own foot. And your foot might end up in the middle of your mat. So just wiggle it to the front in between your hands here. Wiggle your left toes back and ground the left knee down to the floor. Inhale, bring the arms up. On the exhale, ground the hands and pull your right toes towards the nose. So we're stretching the back of the right hamstring here, the back of the right leg. Ground the right foot back down. Inhale, come up to a low lunge. As you exhale, reach your chest and pelvis forward. Ground the hands down to the floor. Lift the back knee off the floor and hug your right knee to your chest. Step it back and find your downward dog again. Take a full breath here. Empty the lungs. On the inhale, left leg floats, three-legged dog. As you exhale, hug your left knee to your chest, shift your weight forward, and then step your left foot between the hands. And again, if you need to wiggle your foot, so ankle is directly underneath the knee, take your time to do so. And then wiggle your right toes back, ground the right knee to the floor. Inhale, bring both arms. As you exhale, ground the hands and pull your left hip back, straighten the left leg. Reach the crown of the head forward, and as you exhale, bring your face to your left knee. Ground the left foot, bend the knee. Inhale and bring the arms up, the lunge. And then reach your chest and hips forward as you exhale. Ground both hands around the front foot. Lift the right knee off the floor. Hug the left knee to your chest, hold there, feel your strength, and then step your left foot behind you, high plank. And then find your downward dog again. On the inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes. Bend the knees, look forward, step or up to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. As you exhale, fold forward, relax the crown of the head down. Maybe cup your elbows here. And if you need to keep the knees bent here, if you feel too much of a pull at the back of your knee or at the base of your bum, then bend the knees a little bit. Maybe sway side to side, allowing gravity to lengthen through the back body. And then relax the hands down to the floor. Take another halfway lift, inhale. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, brush the floor, sink the hips low, and find your chair pose. So squeeze the knees together here if your feet are together, but you can also have your feet hip distance apart, whatever feels good. Reach the arms long, or if the shoulders and neck are niggling, feel free to keep the hands at heart center here. Let's reach the crown of the head up to the sky and sit the sitting bones a little bit more towards the floor. Now, if you have any problems with your knees, then stay up a little bit higher. But if your knees are fine, then sink the hips a little bit lower for a bit of extra challenge for your thighs. Stretch the arms long in line with your ears. One more inhale here. As you exhale, sink the hips a little bit lower. And then bring both hands to the floor. Step your left foot behind you, your right foot behind you. Shift your body weight forward, and we're gonna go for another chaturanga flow. You can do it on your knees or on your toes. This time only going halfway. Open the chest, mini cobra or an upward dog. On the inhale, reach your right leg up, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands, and then spin your left foot flat, ground through the outer edge of your left foot, and rise up, warrior one. So both your hips should be facing the front at the moment. Reach the arms long in line with the ears. On the exhale, open your hips and find your warrior two. Front knee bending, back leg extending. Quick look towards the inner blade of your right foot. Can you see it? If you can't see it, then open the right knee a little bit more towards the pinky side of your right foot. Engage your left leg all the way to your left glute, even tap it a little bit to activate, and then flip the front palm and reverse your warrior inhale. Come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reach forward towards the horizon, and then hinge through the hips and find Trikonasana. Look down, face forward, or maybe look towards your left hand. Legs stay the same here, and reverse your Trikonasana. Activate the legs, squeeze your butt cheeks. Bend your front knee. Rest your right elbow on the right knee, and then stretch the left arm in line with your left leg above the head. Quick look towards your back toes to find that frontal connection. Reverse your warrior here, and then come back to a side angle pose. Reverse your warrior, side angle pose. And then cartwheel both hands around the front foot. Spin the back heel up, hug your right knee to your chest, step it back and find downward dog. Inhale, left leg floats, three-legged dog. Left knee to chest and step your left foot between the hands. Find warrior one on the left-hand side. Hips facing the front here, arms in line with your ears. One more inhale, reach the arms up nice and long. And as you exhale, open the hips, open the arms and find warrior two. Front knee bending. Check that you can see the inner blade of your left foot this time. If not, make sure you're opening that left knee towards the pinky side of your left foot. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior inhale. Come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reach forward, and then hinge and find Trikonasana on the other side. Reach the right arm up. See if you can not compress the left side of your body here. Keep the legs the same, reverse your Trikonasana. And then bend the front knee. Rest your left elbow on the left knee and stretch the arm, the right arm long above the head. Maybe look up towards your right palm of your hand. Keep the legs the same. Reverse your warrior here. Side angle pose. Reverse your warrior. Activate the legs for stability. One last time. And then cartwheel the arms around the front foot. Hug the left knee to your chest. Step it back and find downward dog. Take a full breath here. Inhale. Exhale, lower the heels towards the floor. Rise up onto your tippy toes. Bend the knees, look forward, and step or hop to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. As you exhale, folding forward, brush the floor, sink the hips low, chair pose. Again, you've got the option to bring hands to heart center here. Otherwise, keep the arms stretching. Sink the hips a little bit lower. And on the exhale, folding forward. Another halfway lift, flat back here. Ground the hands, step or hop back into a high plank position. Chaturanga of your choice, on your toes or on the knees. Open the chest up, upward dog or mini cobra. And then lift the hips up. Find your downward dog. On the inhale, right leg floats, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step your right foot between the hands, warrior one. As you exhale, sink low, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, inhale. Come back to warrior two, straighten the front knee, Trikonasana. Look towards your left hand. Reverse your Trikonasana, inhale. Side angle pose on the right. Reverse your warrior. Side angle pose, keep breathing. Reverse your warrior. Side angle pose. One last time. And then see here, if you can lighten the load on that right elbow and maybe stretch the right arm in line with the left. Can you spin the right side of your rib cage to face the side? One more inhale here. And then cartwheel both arms around the front foot. Hug the right knee to your chest. Step it back. Find your downward dog. One full breath. Exhale, empty the lungs. Left leg floats, three-legged dog. Step your left foot between the hands, warrior one. As you exhale, open the hips, open the arms, find your warrior two. Flip the front palm and reverse your warrior, inhale. Come back to warrior two, straighten the front knee, reach forward towards the horizon, Trikonasana. Reach that right up to the ceiling. Keep the legs the same and then reverse your Trikonasana. Bend the front knee, left elbow on left knee, stretch the right arm over the head. Reverse your warrior here. Stretch right arm over the head. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Side angle pose, last one. And then stretch your right arm over the head and see if you can lighten the load on that left elbow. Strengthen both your legs against the mat and then stretch the bottom arm up in line with your right. Can you bring the left side of your rib cage to face the side here? One more inhale, hold there. And then cartwheel both arms around the front foot. Hug your left knee to your chest. Step it back and lift the hips up. Find your downward dog. And then take your knees to the mat. Take them nice and wide. Bring the big toes together and stretch the arms long. Rest the forehead on the mat. Come back to your breath. Notice your chest and belly as they're rising and falling. And then gently walk your hands underneath the shoulders, walk your knees underneath you, and then sit. Come back to sitting on your bum with your legs flat on the floor. Stretch the arms nice and long, and then roll the spine all the way down to the floor. Bring your heels nice and close to your bum, ground your feet. We're gonna do a few bridges here. So find that space between your lower back and the mat here. And as you exhale, flatten the lower back on the floor and continue rolling the hips up. Engage your glutes, engage your hamstrings, and bring the hips up nice and high. Can you press a little bit more into the balls of both your feet to activate the hamstrings here? Scooch your shoulder blades a little bit closer to each other and maybe even grab hold of the edges of your mat. And you can imagine like you're pulling the mat to lift the upper spine a little bit higher away from the floor. Press a little bit of weight into the back of the head and make space between your chin and your chest. And then slowly unravel and lower the spine back to the floor. So we're gonna do it one more time. Find that space between your lower back and the mat. Flatten that space down. Roll the hips up. Lift your bum up off the floor. And then scooch the shoulder blades together. Maybe this time interlace your hands underneath you. Really come to the outer edges of your shoulders so your neck is not on the floor. Keep lifting nice and high and breathing through the hole. If you feel comfortable here, ground one foot a little bit stronger onto the floor and see if you can lift one leg up to the sky. And then slowly lower down. Without shifting any weight, ground your other foot down and lift the other leg up without dropping the hips. Slowly lowering to the floor, unravel the shoulders. And roll the spine one vertebra at a time, all the way to your coccyx. Hug your knees to your chest. Maybe bring your nose to your knees. Maybe rock side to side here. And then relax the head down. Stretch the arms in a T shape. Cross your right leg over your left. And then lift your hips up and scooch them to the right for a moment. And then hug the belly into the spine. Allow the knees to roll down towards the floor. Keep grounding through your right shoulder here. And look towards the right palm of your hand. Maybe close your eyes, find this supine twist. And then gently come back to center. Change legs. So cross your left leg over the right. Lift the hips up and scoot your hips to the left first before you're controlling the knees to the right side of your body. Grounding the left shoulder. Look towards your left hand this time. And every time you exhale, can you find a little bit of a deeper twist here? Allow your spine to soften towards the floor. And then gently come back to center. Uncross your legs, hug your knees to your chest. Maybe grab hold of the outer edges of your feet. Imagine like your feet are flat on the ceiling, allowing the knees to splay outwards nice and wide. And then pull with your hands towards the floor. At the same time, you press with your feet against your hands. Maybe rock side to side here in a happy baby pose. And then bring your feet together. Bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to splay outwards. And rest your arms by your side. Maybe scooch the shoulder blades towards each other. Lengthen through the neck. Getting ready for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Come back to your natural breath. And you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Thank you for joining the class today. Namaste.